Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tate and Holly make secret plans at the extension. Brady wished his son a good morning. With a shake of his head, Tate said he couldn't believe he'd lost 3 months of his life. I feel like I should still be telling people Happy New Year, Tate said. Brady asked Tate about his evening at his friend's house. With a nod, Tate said he'd reconnected with his friend. After breakfast, Brady suggested that Tate go with him to a baseball game, and Tate eagerly accepted. I know lately you've felt like presumably nothing believed you about the medicines, and that no bone was in your corner. And I understand how rough that must have been, but I want you to know I am proud of how you dealt with it, Brady said. Tate jokingly reminded Brady of his route from the halfway house. With a boo, Brady noted that it was mortal to make miscalculations, and that learning from miscalculations erected character. You have a hell of a lot of character, son, Brady said. I am glad you suppose so, Tate said. Brady encouraged Tate to put the history behind him. With a mime, Tate admitted he was nervous to return to academy after what he'd read online about his situation. Your Real Musketeers stood up for you, right? Brady asked. Tate jounced yes, and he asked if he could hang out with his musketeers. Which musketeers? Brady asked. The same musketeers I was with last night, Tate said. Brady offered to give Tate a lift to the boardwalk, but Tate said he wanted to walk. In the Demera foyer, Nicole told Holly that she was impressed with Holly's hard work, and she noted that Holly would not have to go to physical remedy for much longer. Are you proud enough to give me my phone back and let me leave the house by myself? Holly asked hopefully. Nicole said no, irked. Holly stomped upstairs to her room. In the living room, E.J. talked to Mr. Shin on the phone about the pain of losing a child. My family, Stefan, has been put in jail. Unfortunately, because he has been in cahoots with Clyde Weston and his medicine ring, E.J. said E.J. assured way that he'd deal with the situation. ASE.J turned to face the doorway. He saw Nicole glooming at him, and he ended his call. E.J. told Nicole that the Demera board had heard about Stefan's arrest. Let me guess, the stocks are down, right? Nicole said. E.J. explained that the board had demanded Stefan's abdication. You cannot condemn them, Nicole said. E.J. agreed. Nicole asked E.J. if Stefan had been responsible for the medicines that Holly had used. With a shake of his head, E.J. said he wasn't sure. E.J. told Nicole that the only thing he knew for certain was that Stefan had traded the medicines through the bistro because Clyde had hovered Gobby's life. In other words, he was trying to save his woman's life, E.J. said. That does not make it right. Nicole argued. Brady walked by and he said, none of this is right. Wing.J noted that it was a bad time. Brady argued Tate.J owed him after what he'd done to Tate. Brady demanded a public reason to Tate. Likewise, I want D.A. Demera to admit with full guilt and full remorse that he was wrong, egregiously so, to charge my son of a crime that he didn't commit that put him through hell, Brady said. E.J. stated he'd no expostulation to making a public reason to Tate. Nicole added that she had instructed Holly to apologize to Tate, Brady, and Teresa. You need to make that clear to your hubby, as well, Brady combated. E.J. argued that although he'd make a public reason, he believed his conduct had been justified grounded on the substantiation of the case. The reason the substantiation refocused at my son is because of your bias against him, because of your abomination for me, Brady yelled. Nicole asked everyone to calm down, and she took J away. None of this would have gotten out of hand if Holly did not do medicines in the first place, or if she incontinently told the verity when she woke up from the coma and was lucid. And Tate squinched effects up, because he covered for Holly, Nicole said. Nicole argued that they should set a good illustration for the kiddies and take the high road. E.J. agreed. E.J. apologized to Brady, and he promised his office would release a statement. I look forward to that, Brady said. J. And Brady shook hands. I did not suppose you would. Given what he has been through, thanks to your bias against him. And your son's dishonesty, Brady said. Nicole noticed Holly walk down the stairs, and she asked if Holly demanded anything. I am just going to take a walk around the theater, Holly said. After Holly exited, she met up with Tate out front and advised him that his father was in the house. Tate gave Holly a burner phone. You are a lifesaver, Holly said. Holly asked about Tate's newfound freedom. When Tate talked about the horrors of the halfway house, Holly apologized again. It's okay. I am out now. And I get to hang out with you, Tate said. Some spring break, huh? Holly murmured. Tate said he wasn't looking forward to their return to Academy, but they both agreed that the downside was that they could hang out there. Let's agree to find each other between ages. And we'll hold hands in the halls and talk, and also for lunch, we'll find a really private secret space to, be together with no bone. Gaping at us, Holly said. I've the perfect spot. Under the oak tree at the far end of the quadrangle, Tate suggested. Holly beamed at Tate. In the meantime, Holly said. As Holly kissed Tate, a lawnmower started. Holly suggested they sneak up to her room before they were seen together. Let's just make sure the seacoast is clear, Tate said. Tate and Holly crept around to the side of the house to peer into the living room from the theater. Holly watched J. And Nicole attended Brady out of the living room. Tate and Holly crept outside to go up the reverse stairs, but Brady caught them when he returned to the living room. Tate. What the hell are you doing? Brady said. J. And Nicole returned to the room. I cannot believe this, Nicole said with exasperation. Damn it, Tate. I told you weren't allowed to see her, Brady said. I wanted to see him, too. Holly fitted. Brady said he didn't watch. I do not want my son to be around you, Holly. You let him take the fall for your medicine overdose and nearly jeopardized his future. It surprises me that he wants to be around you, Brady said. I forgive her. Tate yelled. Well, you shouldn't, Brady combated. Nicole agreed with Brady that Tate and Holly shouldn't hang out. Holly expostulated, and Tate argued that the only people that were angry were the parents. The grown-ups agree on this. It's for the stylish. You two aren't to see each other presently, Brady said. Tate and Holly looked at one another. At the cantina. Sloane was packing up her briefcase to leave after breakfast. Wow, you have a lot of work, Eric said. No choice, really, Sloane murmured. Sloane clarified that she was upset about the charges of their growing family. Eric admitted that his business wasn't profitable yet. I am sure in time it's going to take right out, Sloane said. Stephanie stopped by the table to say hello, and she murmured over baby Jude. When Stephanie offered her services as a sitter, Eric smiled at Sloane. Stephanie admitted that she missed being around Thomas and Charlotte. I am sure you do, Eric said. Stephanie smiled sorely, and she said she had been going through a rough patch. Eric asked about Everett. Stephanie told Eric and Sloane about Everett's murky history. That's strange and complicated. I do not suppose that Jada ever mentioned much about her marriage to Bobby? Sloane asked Eric. With a mime, Eric admitted that Jada hadn't talked a lot about her once marriage or divorce. Well, it was obviously a veritably painful time for her, and now she finds out that I was the other woman. The woman that came between her and her hubby. Except he does not believe he ever was her hubby. Anyway, it's just crazy complicated, Stephanie said. Eric encouraged Stephanie to find remission, and Sloane agreed. I just suppose that people should not judge unless they walked in someone's shoes, Sloane said. With a nod, Sloane excused herself to meet with a customer.